turn in your Bibles to Daniel chapter 2, verse 36. We're going to go through verse 45. Daniel's just to the right of Ezekiel here. Chapter 2, verse 36. King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon had a dream of a statue, and he was very perplexed over its understanding. No one in the land could tell him the dream or its interpretation. No one, that is, except for Daniel. So let's take a look at this story now. Daniel's going to be telling him, he's told him the dream now, but he's also going to be telling him now the interpretation. So we're picking up at the interpretation part here, verse 36. This was the dream now. We shall tell its interpretation before the king. You, O king, are the King of kings, to whom the God of heaven has given the kingdom, the power, the strength, and the glory. And wherever the sons of men dwell, or the beasts of the field, or the birds of the sky, he has given them into your hand and has caused you to rule over them all. You are the head of gold. So the statue that had 4 different types of metals, the head of gold, is Babylon. And the first king here, obviously, is King Nebuchadnezzar. Verse 39, and after you there will rise another kingdom inferior to you, then another third kingdom of bronze, which will rule over all the earth. You see, all 4 of these kingdoms that Daniel is talking about in this dream, they're all going to rule over all the earth. They're all going to rule over Israel as well. Babylon ruled over Israel. The second kingdom is the Medo-Persian kingdom. They ruled over all the world and over Israel as well. The third kingdom here in verse 39 is the kingdom of bronze, which was Greece. So Medo-Persia was the silver aspect of the statue. Greece is the bronze section, the lower section here, the stomach and the thighs. They're going to rule over all the earth and, of course, Israel as well. Now, here comes the next kingdom. Verse 40, the fourth kingdom. Then there will be a fourth kingdom as strong as iron, inasmuch as iron crushes and shatters all things. So like iron that breaks in pieces, it will crush and break all these in pieces. The iron kingdom here, the fourth kingdom, is the Roman Empire. And Rome dominated the world for many, many years. And, of course, dominated over Israel. We saw them dominating over Israel in Jesus' days. Verse 41, and in that you saw the feet and the toes, partly of potter's clay and partly of iron, it will be a divided kingdom. But it will have in it the toughness of iron, inasmuch as you saw the iron mixed with common clay. Well, the Roman kingdom, the Roman Empire, broke up into 2 sections, the Western Empire and the Eastern Empire. The Eastern Empire actually lasted a whole lot longer than the Western Empire. Verse 42, and as the toes of the feet were partly of iron and partly of pottery, so some of the kingdom will be strong and part of it will be brittle. And in that you saw the iron mixed with common clay. They will combine with one another in the seed of men, but they will not adhere to one another, even as iron does not combine with pottery. So what's happening here is when the Roman Empire is taking over nations and even Israel, what they're doing is displacing peoples and also combining peoples together. But this did not work. They wanted a lot of intermarriage, and this did not work with Israel. There was not a lot of intermarriage at all. But look at the good news here. Verse 44 and 45, and in the days of those kings, the God of heaven will set up a kingdom which will never be destroyed. That's Yeshua's kingdom. That's the Messianic kingdom. And that kingdom will not be left for another people. It will crush and put an end to all these kingdoms. But it will itself endure forever. That's when Yeshua comes back in the second coming, folks. He comes. He wipes out that new world order, the revived Roman Empire, and all the other kingdoms that were involved with it as well. And he will rule forever and ever. Verse 45, inasmuch as you saw that a stone was cut out of the mountain without hands, and that it was crushed, that it crushed the iron, the bronze, the clay, the silver, and the gold. The great God has made known to the king what will take place in the future. So the dream is true and its interpretation is trustworthy. Daniel gives the interpretation of the dream. And he tells them these 4 kingdoms that are going to come.